You know, for all the incredible things we've learned about our planet, there are still spots that make you wonder if we really know anything at all. We're talking about places in our own backyard that seem to defy the laws of physics. Places that the most brilliant scientific minds on Earth, even with all their advanced technology, are still scratching their heads over. From strange, dancing lights in the sky to entire forests, where every single tree is bent out of shape. Our planet is running on secrets we haven't cracked yet. Today, we're diving into the top 10 most mysterious natural wonders that science still can't fully explain. Tucked away in a corner of Chestnut Ridge Park in New York, you've got a sight that just seems impossible, a flickering flame burning right behind a waterfall. This small light is protected inside a little grotto, and it's fueled by a natural gas seep. Now, eternal flames exist in other places, but this one is a real puzzle for geologists. The science says the gas should be coming from old, superheated shale rock deep underground. But studies of the rock right here found it's actually relatively young and not nearly hot enough to be producing gas this way. So, what's the real mechanism? Is there some other process at work that's kept this flame going for what could be thousands of years? Science just doesn't have the final answer. Near the town of Gryfino in Poland stands a forest that looks like it was pulled from a dream. Here you've got this grove of around 400 pine trees, planted back in the 1930s, and they all share the exact same bizarre deformity. Each trunk, near its base, bends sharply at a 90-degree angle, creating this uniform J-shape before it curves back up to grow straight. What makes it even weirder is that they all bend in the same direction, north. Theories are all over the place, from heavy snowfall weighing them all down as saplings, to a more interesting idea that farmers intentionally shape them to grow pre-curved wood for things like furniture or boats. But you know, there's no definitive proof, and if it was a man-made technique, that knowledge is completely lost to history. For almost 100 years, Death Valley was hiding a really strange secret. Out on the flat, dry lake bed of racetrack playa, massive rocks, some weighing hundreds of pounds, were somehow sliding across the ground, leaving these long tracks behind them with no visible cause. It was a mystery that led to all sorts of theories, from strange magnetic fields to, you guessed it, alien intervention. Then, in 2014, scientists finally caught it on camera. The answer was this incredibly rare, perfect storm of conditions. Just enough rain to create a shallow pond, which then freezes overnight into huge, thin sheets of ice. Then, gentle winds push these massive ice panels, and the panels act like bulldozers, shoving the rocks across the slippery mud below. While the core mechanical mystery is pretty much solved, the sheer combination of events needed for it to happen is so rare that almost no one ever sees it, and it remains a stunning example of a puzzle that baffled science for decades. Deep in the Karakum Desert, there's a fiery crater over 200 feet wide that's been burning for more than 50 years. It's known as the Darvaza Gas Crater, or, you know, the door to hell. The story goes that it formed back in 1971, when a Soviet drilling rig hit a natural gas cavern, and the whole thing collapsed. Fearing the release of poisonous methane gas, the geologists reportedly decided to just set it on fire, figuring it would burn itself out in a few weeks. It never did. The real mystery here isn't so much how it started, but the sheer scale of the underground gas reservoir that has managed to fuel this inferno for half a century. The question of just how much gas was actually down there to keep this thing going for so long remains a pretty serious geological puzzle. Over in northern Australia's Gulf of Carpentaria, a spectacular and really rare weather event unfolds. They're called morning glory clouds, and we're talking about these enormous, rolling cloud tubes that can stretch up to 600 miles long. They fly low and fast across the sky, almost like waves breaking in the atmosphere. Meteorologists have a general idea of how they form. It has to do with the collision of sea breezes and very specific humidity and temperature conditions. But the exact mechanics that allow them to form so perfectly and stay stable over such huge distances aren't fully understood. They remain one of meteorology's most beautiful and elusive puzzles. In the French town of Tonnerre, there's an ancient stone pool that's constantly brimming with turquoise water, flowing at an incredible rate of over 300 liters every single second. This is the Fosse Dionne, or the Divine Pit, a type of spring that has been the town's water source for centuries. But where is all this water actually coming from? That's the question nobody has been able to answer. Scientists have used dye tracing and found connections to rivers miles away, but those connections don't explain the massive volume of water. Divers have tried to explore the submerged limestone caves to find the source, but the passages are treacherous and narrow. Several expeditions have ended in tragedy, and to this day, the true source of the Fosse Dionne is still one of Europe's biggest hydrological mysteries. Etched into the dry plains of southern Peru are over 1,300 gigantic designs, known as the Nazca Lines. They were created between 500 BC and 500 AD, and these geoglyphs show everything from simple lines and shapes to huge figures of animals like spiders, monkeys, and hummingbirds, some as large as the Empire State Building. The mystery here isn't who made them, it was the Nazca people. The real question is why. One theory suggests they were a giant astronomical calendar, pointing to stars and planets. Newer ideas propose they were ritual pathways to be walked during ceremonies, or maybe offerings to the gods to bring rain and good harvests. Without any written records from the Nazca culture, the real purpose of these incredible creations, which you can only really see from the sky, remains locked in the past. Out in the remote Hessdalen Valley in Norway, a bizarre and totally silent light show has been happening for decades. Locals report seeing these bright, floating lights, white, yellow, or red, that just move through the valley. Sometimes they just hover for over an hour before disappearing. Scientific investigations started back in the early 1980s, and automated monitoring stations have pretty much ruled out the simple stuff like planes or car headlights. Radar has tracked objects moving at incredible speeds, while other equipment has detected elements like silicon and iron within the lights themselves. Hypotheses range from some kind of natural plasma to a valley battery effect caused by the unique geology there, but no single theory can explain everything they've observed. For centuries, people have reported seeing one of nature's absolute strangest phenomena: ball lightning. It's described as these glowing spheres, anywhere from the size of a grapefruit to a basketball, that appear during thunderstorms. They can float through the air, last for several seconds, and then either fade away silently or explode. Some reports even claim they can pass right through walls and windows. This has been a really tough one for science to explain. Theories include everything from vaporized silicon from the soil to microwave radiation trapped in a plasma bubble. But despite thousands of accounts over the years, the phenomenon is so rare and unpredictable that it has almost never been properly recorded on scientific instruments, leaving it as one of the most baffling mysteries in all of atmospheric physics. You know, no list of mysteries would really be complete without this one. The Bermuda Triangle, that stretch of the Atlantic between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, has been legendary for decades for the supposed disappearance of over 50 ships and 20 aircraft. The explanations have been all over the map, from alien abductions to time warps. Now, it's important to note that many of these incidents have since been explained away by severe weather, human error, or are just plain exaggerated. But there are still some scientific questions people point to. You hear theories about monstrous rogue waves over 100 feet tall, or sudden eruptions of methane gas from the ocean floor that could literally cause a ship to lose all its buoyancy and sink in seconds. While most scientists discount the triangle as a paranormal hotspot, the sheer volume of stories and the public's fascination with it ensure the Bermuda Triangle remains the world's most legendary mystery. From the ground under our feet to the skies above, our planet is still full of secrets. These wonders prove that no matter how much we think we know, there will always be mysteries that challenge us and spark our curiosity. Which of these do you think is the most fascinating? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you had fun on this little journey into the unknown, do us a favor and hit that like button. And subscribe for more explorations of our incredible world.